You're listening to The American Backdrop, a show about where politics meets everyday life, where the headlines fade and the real story begins. Because what's happening in Washington isn't just politics, it's your paycheck, your neighborhood, your freedom. I'm Alan, and every week we cut through the noise, talk about what's really going on, and why it matters to you. This is The American Backdrop. Let's get into it. You ever notice how every headline sounds like it's selling you something? Not the truth. A reaction, fear, outrage, division. That's not journalism, that's marketing for an agenda. The media used to chase stories, now they chase clicks. They used to dig for facts, now they dig for enemies. And if you don't fit their story, they'll erase you. Here's the truth. The media doesn't inform anymore. It performs. It's a stage, and we're the audience they're trying to keep angry, scared, and tuned in. They don't care what's true, they care what trends. Because truth doesn't sell, but outrage is profitable. You've seen it. Every time Trump speaks, they twist it before the sentence ends. They can't stand him, not because he lies, but because he doesn't need them. He broke their monopoly on attention. He showed America that we don't need a middleman to hear the truth anymore. And that's why they lost it. When Trump came back, the ratings dipped. The experts panicked, and the media realized for the first time the American people stopped believing them. But here's the scary part. Instead of earning back trust, they doubled down on manipulation. Fact-checkers who lie, journalists who act, networks that pretend to be neutral while working as political PR firms. They say democracy dies in darkness, but what they don't tell you is they're the ones turning off the lights. So yeah, they can't tell the truth anymore. Because telling the truth would expose their own script. And the script, it's built on control, not clarity, on division, not dialogue. And that's exactly why independent voices are rising. We don't have billion-dollar studios, but we've got something better. People who are awake. People who can tell when something smells off. That's where we are now. The old media world is collapsing. The truth is breaking through, not because of them, but in spite of them. And that's just the beginning. Because if they can't control the story anymore, what happens next? You ever watch the news and feel like everyone's reading from the same script? That's because they are. Different logos, same words, same tone, same fake urgency. It's not reporting anymore. It's theater. They perform emotion. They rehearse outrage, and they sell it to you as breaking news. They call it coverage. But it's not coverage. It's camouflage, a way to hide the truth behind big words and emotional framing. They'll take a real story, a real problem, then twist it just enough to fit their site's agenda. And the second you call it out, you're labeled dangerous, misinformed, or extreme. But let's be honest, the only thing extreme is how far they'll go to keep the illusion alive. Think about it. They can't afford for people to think for themselves. If you start questioning what you see on screen, the whole system cracks. So they keep the cycle going. Outrage, blame, repeat. You get angry. You tune in tomorrow. And the advertisers keep paying. That's not journalism, that's addiction, powered by emotion, packaged as truth. And here's the thing. The media doesn't hate lies. They just hate the ones they don't control. They'll censor a story in the name of safety, shadow ban a truth teller in the name of order. And when they get caught, they call it a mistake in reporting. No, it's not a mistake. It's the plan. Trump exposed that plan. He didn't play along, didn't apologize, didn't bow down, and the media couldn't handle it. They spend years trying to destroy him. Not because of what he did wrong, but because of what he revealed about them. They wanted him to be a villain. Because villains make great ratings. But the truth, he made them irrelevant. Now they're scrambling, trying to prove they still matter. Running stories no one believes. Pretending to be the gatekeepers of truth, while the gates are already open. Because here's the reality. The people don't need permission to know anymore. The truth is out there, raw and unfiltered. And for the first time, they can't stop it. That's when you know the tide's turning. When the loudest liars are shouting, but nobody's listening. They used to own the microphone, now everyone does. The anchors, the editors, the so-called experts. They used to decide what was new and what wasn't. Now a guy with a camera and a voice can break a story before CNN even wakes up. That's not chaos. That's freedom. Social media changed everything. It gave the truth legs, fast ones. No gatekeepers, no filters, no permission slips. And yeah, that scared the hell out of the old system. Because once people started sharing raw truth, the media lost control of the narrative they'd been selling for decades. They call it misinformation. But what they really mean is competition. See, truth doesn't need a studio. It just needs courage. And that's what millions of people found over the last few years. Ordinary citizens with cell phones became reporters. Podcasters became networks. Memes became headlines. And once that door opened, it could never close again. You've got creators on X, Rumble, Substack, people who don't answer to sponsors or scripts. They don't have to shape stories to fit ad buyers. They just talk. They just show. They just tell it like it is. And guess what? People trust them more than CNN, ABC, or the New York Times combined. That's the revolution right now. The people reclaimed the story. And sure, it's messy. Sometimes voices get loud, sometimes they get it wrong. But at least now, truth has a fighting chance. Because freedom's never clean. It's never polished, but it's real. And real beats scripted every single time. That's why they're panicking. The legacy media isn't just losing ratings, they're losing relevance. And when the old guard feels cornered, they'll do anything to hold power. Censorship, smears, deplatforming, it's all a sign of fear. Because they know what's coming next. A world where the truth doesn't ask permission. And that's where we are. The shift already happened. We're not waiting for it. We're living it. The truth left their studios and came home to the people. It's not just the news anymore. It's the movies you watch, the shows you stream, the jokes they let you laugh at, and the ones they cancel you for. The media may have started it, but the culture carried it. You can't escape it. Politics used to live in Washington. Now it's in your kid's classroom, your favorite show, your job's HR training. It's really in everything. Every headline, every script, every post, all soaked in politics, and half the time you don't even notice it. It's like they rewired how people think. You can't just say, I disagree. You've got to apologize for thinking different. You've got to pick a side or get punished for staying neutral. That's not conversation, that's control. And the media helped build that. They taught people that outrage is virtue and silence is guilt. So now, everyone performs their beliefs because they're scared to just be honest. But here's the thing, most Americans aren't extremists. They're raising families, paying bills, trying to keep their heads above water. They don't care about culture wars. They just want sanity back. And finally, they're starting to say it out loud. You can feel it In conversations in small towns, online, people are done pretending. They're waking up to how fake the narrative really is. See, that's what the left never understood. You can't cancel common sense forever. You can't silence a country built on free speech and think it'll stay quiet. Because every time they push harder, more people start paying attention. And once you see the game, you can't unsee it. That's how culture shifts. Not by force, but by truth, spreading faster than fear. And maybe that's what this whole moment's about. Not left versus right, but truth versus theater, reality versus illusion. Because once people stop buying the performance, the script collapses. We've seen what happens when truth gets twisted, when stories get sold instead of told, when headlines become weapons. And yet, the truth is still here. It's not gone, it's just been buried under noise. But people are digging it up, piece by piece, one voice at a time. For years, the media made us believe we were powerless, that we needed them to make sense of the world, that we couldn't trust what we saw with our own eyes. But now we're the ones holding the camera. We're the ones sharing what's real. We're the one deciding who gets heard and who doesn't. That's not a small shift. That's a revolution in plain sight. See, they can spin a story, but they can't spin experience. You can't fake the feeling of living through bad policy, high prices, or chaos at the border. You can't censor the truth when millions of people are saying it at once. And that's what's happening right now, across this country, from podcasts to kitchen tables. People are taking back the story, taking back the narrative, taking back America. They call it dangerous. They'll call it misinformation, but that's just what power says when it feels itself slipping. Because the truth doesn't need permission. It doesn't need approval. It just needs people brave enough to speak it. And every time someone does, the lie loses power. So maybe this is where we are now. The age of fake headlines and forced narratives is cracking. The old machine is breaking down, and through all that static, real voices are coming through. Not polished, not scripted, just real. And that's what scares them the most. Because once truth starts speaking again, you can't silence it. You can only watch it rise. So here's the message. Keep your eyes open. Keep your voice steady. Don't let anyone tell you the truth doesn't matter, because it's the only thing that ever did. If this episode hit something in you, good. That means you still care about truth. And that's what this show's about. We're not here for headlines. We're here to strip away the noise and talk about what's really happening in this country. With honesty, courage, and a little common sense. Because the truth doesn't need a filter. It just needs people who won't back down from it. If you felt that tonight, do me a favor. Hit like, share it, and drop a comment that says, I see through it. Let's flood the feed with people who aren't afraid to see clearly. This is The American Backdrop, where we pull the curtain back and look straight at the truth, no matter who it offends. I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay free, and never let anyone tell you what to think.